Well, a happy Tuesday to you. The Mariners are in Texas to take on the defending World Series champion Rangers. Seattle has won 5 of the past 6 games to even their record at 11-11. The Rangers, meanwhile, are half game better at 12-11. Logan Gilbert's on the mound for Seattle. Texas goes with Dane Dunning. That game underway on Root Sports Northwest. Only one other team in the American League West was in action last night as the Angels fell to Baltimore 4-2. The loss drops LA to 3 games behind Texas. Along with Oakland, Houston trails the pack at 5 games back. Well, the Seattle Kraken's 3rd season is in the books, and the NHL season was a disappointing one this past year. They lost in the regular season, couldn't make the playoffs. Seattle finished this season 34-35-13, 81 points. That was well back of a wild card playoff spot. Kraken players and coach Dave Hakstol used the term consistency or lack thereof as they look back on this year.
At the end of the day, it's a disappointing year when you're packing your bag up before the playoffs. It's disappointing. We took obviously a big step last year in getting there, and we wanted to continue that this year, and it didn't happen. So, today's just about trying to figure out, and it's hard to process a couple days after. Usually it takes a week or 2 to start really getting some feelings, but today's just about trying to figure out how we can get back to that. The inconsistencies, what you're talking about, it's that night to night. Some nights I'd be like, wow, we're playing well, we're good, and the next night I'd be like, where did that go? So we need to find a way to just be more consistent.
Nothing comes easy as an NHL player. You got to earn everything, and you got to start earning in the summer when people aren't looking, and you got to put in the work and do everything right and work a little extra hard this summer to get yourself ready for a season.
That's one of the things that stands out here. As we're sitting on day 1 of the National Hockey League playoffs and we're not part of it. The inconsistencies in our play throughout the year have brought us to this point. There's a lot of substance within that lead to those. To those results, and those are the things. We're into. I'm about halfway through my player meetings right now. Most of the player meetings have been really good, just straight up honest discussions, not necessarily individually based. We've got some really smart guys. We've got some great veterans, and everybody cares a lot.
In 3 seasons under Dave Hakstol, the Kraken are 107, 112, and 27. There are rumors that Hakstol could be removed as the head coach. Well, we just are 2 days away from the first round of the NFL draft, where the Seahawks hold the 16th overall selection. Right now, Seattle has 7 total picks over the 3 days of the draft. Much speculation is going into whom the Seahawks will choose with their first round selection. Now, ESPN draft analysts have thrown out these names as good fits in John Schneider's first draft without Pete Carroll at his side. They include Florida State edge rusher Jared Verse, Alabama offensive tackle J.C. Latham, and cornerback Terrion Arnold. They also say Oregon quarterback Bo Nix and Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. are also in the conversation. The first round is Thursday, with rounds 2 and 3 coming up on Friday. While the coaching carousel has been very active over around the west side in Seattle, several coaching changes have also happened here in the Wenatchee Valley. One new name added to the roster of coaches at Eastmont High School is new volleyball coach Rob Jammerman. NCWLIFE caught up with Jammerman recently and asked about choosing to get back into coaching after a stint as the head coach at Juanita High School and coaching local club programs here in the Valley.
Yeah, when I'm not working, one of my favorite passions is to coach, and I've been coaching for about 15 years, both on the club level, and I coached for high school and was on the west side. And so as I was preparing for retirement, one of my advisors said, make a list of things that you'd like to do post-retirement, and I wrote at the top of the list, get back into head coaching or coaching a volleyball high school program, and the Eastmont program position came available. So I'm super excited to go over there and help out with that program. They've got a really great young group coming up that I think is going to be strong. We have, of course, our neighbor, the Wenatchee Panthers, who won state. I'm great friends with the coach there and have coached many of those kids in that program. So the volleyball in the Valley is it's one big family, but then they go to respective schools and compete, and so we hope to be able to sort of keep up with Wenatchee, because they are, I think, fully loaded to make another run for state this year. But I'm looking forward to this young group that's coming up in Eastmont. I think they're going to be really competitive and do well in the Big Nine over this next few years. So.
Not only did Wenatchee win the state 4A volleyball championship, Manson took the 2B title, while Chelan won the 1A championship this past season. Well, a dozen baseball games crowd the prep schedule today. Quincy visits Toppenish in a doubleheader. Oroville also plays 2 at Manson. Tonasket is hosting Liberty Bell. Fred is playing at Riverview. Cascade hosts Omak. Chelan is hosting Cashmere. Lake Roosevelt visits Brewster. Waterville Mansfield is home against Riverside Christian. Moses Lake plays at Wenatchee. Eastmont is on the road at West Valley. The fast pitch softball schedule has Quincy hosting Fred in a doubleheader. Oroville has 2 games at Manson. Tonasket hosts Liberty Bell. The Waterville Mansfield girls are home against Soap Lake. Cascade visits Omak. Brewster plays host to Lake Roosevelt. The Prep Boys soccer schedule has Cashmere at Chelan. Pateras hosts Brewster in the Battle of Highway 97. Bridgeport travels to Okanagan. Oroville hosts Liberty Bell. Ephrata visits Othello at 6, while Quincy hosts Cascade. 7 o'clock matches have Davis at Wenatchee and West Valley at Moses Lake. Now, speaking of, NCW Life Channel will be out at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl tonight for the Big Nine battle between Wenatchee and Davis. The Pirates sit a game and a half in front of the Panthers in the conference standings. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have the call, with a pregame beginning at 6:50. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.